Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Parsley channel. I'm Tom, and just like Parsley, we get into a little bit of everything. So what are we going to get into today? Well, we are at Captree State Park on the south shore of Long Island. This is one of the popular boat basins. There's a fishing pier, there's a boat ramp, there's a bike trail. There's a lot of stuff going on here, so we're going to take a look and tour this whole area. And today, it's about 20 degrees, so it's cold. It's officially winter. It's about mid-January 2026, and give you a little 360 of where we are right over here. We've got the sun over there, so we'll try to keep the sun out. But right over there, we got the Robert Moses Causeway, because right over there is Robert Moses State Park. See that tower over there? That's what we call the pencil. It's actually a water tower. And all the way down over here, we've got lampposts, but right about over there is the Fire Island Lighthouse, and right down this path is a fishing pier, and this is all Great South Bay over here. So let's go down to the fishing pier and check it out. So this area where we are, it's a little windy. I hope my microphone is blocking out the wind. So the area where we are at Captree State Park, this is called the Overlook parking lot. There's, I'll turn you around and we'll see, there's like picnic areas, there's barbecue spots. I mean, not in the winter you would come here, but in the summer it's really nice here. And right behind me here is the fishing pier that we were talking about, right at Great South Bay, and we'll get a closer look at the pier and everything else. Let me turn you around. So right over there is the bridge. There's the sun, and there is Robert Moses water tower over there. There's also a Coast Guard station right there. And then this is all Fire Island. Here's the fishing pier I was talking about. It's a little snowy, icy, but we'll walk a little bit and hopefully not slip. Goes out, bends around over there, and then it kind of comes back around. And there's my shadow over there. So hi everybody. And then the lighthouse is right about over there. I don't have I'm keeping my gloves on, so let me see if I could slowly zoom in over there. There we go. And zoom in on that lighthouse over there. There's Fire Island Lighthouse. In one of our other videos, we talked about Fire Island Lighthouse and how that whole area from the lighthouse all the way over to Fire Island Inlet, which is all the way over there, was filled in. This whole area was filled in from coastal drift, or the literal drift of the sand coming from all the way on the east end of Long Island all the way out this way, and it all filled in. So that lighthouse was built in around the 1870s, 1880s, and this whole area was all filled in the last 150 or so years, and that's where the inlet is. And this body of water is Great South Bay, and this whole fishing pier is pretty popular in season. There's, from what I understand, good fishing, good crabbing over here. We'll go as far as the water line over here, and we'll take a look at the water here. So there is the water's edge right there. Really pretty with the sun coming down. There's been seals. I haven't seen any yet, but we're going to go to an area where I know I've seen seals before. So we'll see if they're there. But yeah, so this is the Overlook Pier. This is the fishing pier that's in part of Great South Bay. There is another fishing pier a little further down, but I'll just turn you around and take a look. There's that. There it goes there. It's kind of U-shaped, and then we came from up over there, so the parking lot is up over there, the Overlook parking lot up there. All right, so we're going to go to our next spot. All right, so we're on the other side, and this is a good, kind of protected in the wind here. So I'm going to give you a little history of Captree State Park. We'll talk about our old friend, Robert Moses, and how this park got its name, why is it here, and some of the important aspects of the park. So we were just on the other side, the south side, the Overlook parking lot part. So how did Captree get its name? Well, you know, there's a lot of stories about how things got their names. Nobody really knows the real story. This is a story I heard. Whether it's true or not, who knows? So Captree got its name. Captree spelled C-A-P-T-R-E-E, by an old mariner, boater, way back when, would use a tree that was on one of these islands out here. There's hundreds of islands out here in the Great South Bay. Took a tree and he put his cap in the tree. And that was used as like a buoy or as like a signpost to say, hey, go by the Captree, or watch out for the shallow water over at the Captree. And over time, over years, people keep using the word Captree, Captree, Captree. This became Captree. And right in front of us over here, we're walking, let me show you, is the fishing pier. So the fishing pier goes way out. I used to come out here with my dad years ago. Good crabbing, good fishing, and right across the way over here on the bay is usually where I've seen seals. We'll see what happens if we see any seals today. But let's just talk a little bit about erosion and this fishing pier. See how far out the fishing pier goes? It used to be all this sand used to be all the way to the end of that fishing pier. This park was open. Here's a little bit of history in our old friend Robert Moses. Love him or hate him, but you do your own research on him. This park was opened around the 1960s because that's when the bridges were open. That's when Robert Moses in the 40s and 50s filled in Jones Island, a series of islands to make Jones Island and make Jones Beach. So he also built the bridge over here and then built this park as Captree Boat Base, and we'll see the boats in a minute. And this fishing pier, I'll show you again, fishing pier goes all the way out to the end there. This was all this was all sand. And that current, because this current rips over here, I'll show you when we get out to the pier over here, pulled away all of that sand. So we're gonna walk as far as we can to the end of the pier here. And it's pretty cold and windy, but we'll do it. Just stop here and show you how fast that water really is moving. You can see how quick that current is moving. That means the tide's going out. When the tide comes in, obviously that current reverses, but that back and forth current is what rips away all of that sand. And it only took about, let's see, this is 2026. I said around the 60s, so about 60 years it took to just wipe out all of that sand. Right about over here, somewhere over here, they did repair it, but there used to be a walkway right over here that would go right into the end of the parking lot, right over here. Obviously, it's not here anymore. We just came from that direction, and we're gonna go all the way over there. Now, out this way, you're gonna notice a lot of these islands. Let me zoom in a little bit over here. Go a little slow here. You can see that there are these houses off on these islands. Now, these houses, these bay houses, have no electric. Oh, there's a ferry. Look at that. There's no electric. They are bay houses. They're called bay houses. This particular one that was showing right here, this is a service dock station. There's like gas pumps and stuff over there. But these houses, these are all just bay houses. No electric. They're all on their own. All those out over there. And there's a documentary out about these bay houses. I forget what it's called, but they are in each family's name. So they can't sell them. You can't buy one. They're in that family. Once that family kind of disappears, then that lease for that bay house is gone. But those houses have been here ever since I can remember, and I've been coming here as a kid since the 70s, more or less, and they've always been out there. And it's a pretty interesting life. Nobody lives there full time. They're only like seasonal. Like you would go out there and go stay out there for the summer, or stay a couple of weeks and go fishing and whatever. Look at this water. Look how fast this water is going. Look at that. It is moving really fast. I've seen a kayaker stuck in that current. It was pretty scary because he was holding on to the piling. He couldn't move. He didn't really know what he was doing, but he couldn't move. It was tough. So this pier is good for fishing, crabbing. I just realized I was thinking that's why I delayed. I didn't finish talking about Robert Moses. When we get back sheltered a little bit, we'll finish our Robert Moses talk. Okay, let's get to the end. So you'll notice as we get closer to the end, it's like, oh, what a mess. Oh man, why don't they clean all these clamshells? Well, the clamshells are from the seagulls. There was a seagull who was just here, flew away. Seagulls will come up, take a clamshell, bring it up, and then they'll drop it. And as they drop it, the clamshells will break open and they got a free meal. So we are just at the end. This is it. And remember what I was saying is that that parking lot was all the way out here in the 60s. So it took about, what did I say, 40, so 60 years or so for all that sand to be washed away. And you can see that the water is still moving pretty fast. There's Fire Island Lighthouse all the way over there. I don't know if you can see. Let's zoom in a little bit. Nope, I got to change hands. Hold on. We'll zoom in a little bit to the Fire Island Lighthouse. Focus. Yeah, it's not grabbing the focus. All right, zoom back out. Okay, Fire Island Lighthouse. Trust me, it's right there. So this is all Great South Bay. These are the communities of Fire Island off in the distance over there. And this is all Great South Bay. All the way in the distance, there's a white building. That is the federal courthouse in Central Islip. And the twin spans of the Robert Moses Causeway Bridge are over there. And then the drawbridge for Captree is right over there. And the seals usually haul out right over there. So we're going to walk back down the pier to the end. We're going to walk over to the party boat, and we'll see what we can see. But first we're going to see if there's any seals over there. And then we'll continue talking about Robert Moses. Okay, we made it to the other end of the fishing pier. Oh, it's cold. It's windy. Oh, my face is burning. So we're going to look across the way here and see if we can see any seals. Usually they haul out right around here. So let's see if there's any over there. I don't think so, because I didn't see any. Nope. Nope. No seals. I didn't think so. Usually seals do come here because we get two kinds of seals here on Long Island. We get harbor seals and gray seals. And they usually come out here in the winter. Let me just show you quick. We're going to walk over there, but this is the boat basin over here. Whew, that wind is tough. All right. Hopefully this boat's going to block the wind a little bit as we're walking down here. Yeah, just a little bit. Wow, that was windy. Holy cow. All right, so let's go to a little bit more protected spot and let's talk Robert Moses and history. Right. The wind's at my back now, so it's a little bit more protected. So, Robert Moses, like I said, love him or hate him. Most of all the state parks we have, the state highways we have now because of him. There's a lot of controversy about Robert Moses. You can do your own research and make your own decision about him. There is a really thick book called The Power Broker by Robert Caro that goes into Robert Moses and his influence on New York State. So Robert Moses helped to build he didn't actually build it himself, but he was able to get the funding to build the causeway, to build this boat basin, and also to fill in all of Jones Island where Jones Beach is, because Jones Island was a series of islands, about 5 or so barrier islands that he filled in to make Jones Beach. Built Ocean Parkway. Ocean Parkway ends here, and then the bridges continue to Robert Moses State Park, which is the beach, and then this Captree boat basin here. And today, the boat basin got a lot of use. I mean, it's been open since the 60s, and what is here are charter fishing boats and, for lack of a better word, party boats. I don't know, I guess they're called open fishing boats. I don't know the actual term for it, but these are these big fishing boats that you can go on to, pay a fee. They'll take you out for a couple of hours fishing. The mates on there they usually have fishing rods available for you. The mates will take the fish off the hook. They'll fillet it for you. If you catch something, fillet it for you, and then put it in a bag and you bring it home and you got fish. So we'll take a look over there at those fishing boats, but I got to get in a parsley mobile now and warm up a little bit. My fingers are freezing. My face is freezing. All right, next up. All right, so we're kind of right in the middle of the Captree boat basin. We're right in front of Tiki Joe's, which is a little bar, restaurant, concession stand, bathrooms, whatever, over here. It's pretty cool. I've been here before. It's a pretty cool, fun place to hang out. So let me turn you around. So all of these boats are either charter boats or what's called party boats. So I'll put in a link down below to all the fishing boats that are here. But you don't need a reservation. You can just kind of show up. Some of these are charter. Some of these are open boats. I've been on some of these. You're all guaranteed to catch a fish. No. But they come out for all different types of fish: bluefish, striped bass, fluke, flounder, whatever. But they're all here. They're all listed. Jib 6. I've been on that. Pretty good. You can see when they start. That's when they go. Charter boat over here. Island Princess over here. Go after fluke, stripers. You can see the times and all that information right up over there. I don't know the prices, and keeps on going all the way down. Captree Princess, Captain Gillen 2. The Yankee 3. The Yankee 3 is a good one because when I used to when I was a naturalist working in outdoor environmental ed, we would take our marine science camps out on the Yankee 3, and I was the marine science guy. So that was, I'm glad that it's still here. The Kraken, I've heard about that one. There used to be a scuba diving boat over here a long time ago. There's that Moon Chaser, the party boat over there, Captain Eddie, and then it just continues over there. Bait and tackle shop over there. And then that's where we started over there. Now there's a boat ramp and a kayak launch over there, and there's also a bike path. So we're going to go see those two things. So this park's open year round, in season, Memorial Day to Labor Day. And on some weekends before and after, you still have to pay to park here. And to get in here, if you're a New York State resident, you get what's known as an Empire Passport, and that gives you essentially access to park here without paying an extra fee. I think the daily fee is, I think it's like $7 or something. I don't remember. But so this is, if you're a state resident, I definitely suggest you get that Empire Passport and just kind of show you everything. There's them all lined up. They're obviously not going out now because it's winter, but pretty soon they're going to start going out because the fishing starts pretty fast around here. All right, let's go to our next stop. All right, so this is a really cool spot. This is brand new. This is a bike path. I think it's called there it is, the Ocean Parkway Coastal Greenway. So we are here, and to get to Jones Beach, it's 13 miles one way. And I haven't done it yet, but I can tell you I've done parts of it. And if you're pedaling into the wind, it's really hard. That's where you wish you had an e-bike. But this is a beautiful path. It starts here. There's bike racks here. Bike path goes along Ocean Parkway. Kind of gives you a sense of where we are. Let me come on over here, show you where we are here. We are here. This is Captree State Park. This is Robert Moses Causeway. Fire Island is over here. Lighthouse. And this whole area is where the bike path goes all the way to Jones Beach over here, and then you can continue all along to Jones Inlet if you really wanted to. So here's all the party boats we kind of took a look at here. There's some more information over there and some history. We can kind of what I just talked about here, but you could zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit over there. You can pause it, read it if you want. And down here is the timeline and a little historical map down over here. And here's our friend Robert Moses over there. Like I said, love him or hate him, but we have all these parks because of Robert Moses. So one of the other cool things that they have here is a bike repair station. So let's take a look at that bike repair station over here. There's a whole bunch of tools. Looks like someone stole one over here, but it's a whole bunch of tools if you needed it. There's a pump that hopefully works. I can't tell if it works. You would hang your bike up here, repair it if you needed to, and you're on your way. So this is kind of where it starts. There, we were just over there. There's my shadow over there. Hi, everybody. And the boats continue all along over there. And this is the bike path, Captree State Park, all the way to Jones Beach, 13 miles one way. So let's go to our next stop. So we're here at the boat ramp kayak launch. Some Swanee swans over here. Let me turn you around. There's some swans over here. So those are there's the boat basin over there with all the party boats. This pier does go out. You can do some fishing off of this pier. You can also tie up and temporarily. There's a fuel pump dock over there. Again, like I said, there's usually seals hauled out over there, but I don't see any today. So I guess no seals today. But here's the boat ramp. It's also a kayak launch. There's also another little fishing pier out over there. And it's a concrete ramp. So let me just show you what it kind of looks like here. You can back yourself in. You can launch a kayak. You can drop your boat, whatever you need to do. It is a state boat launch. I don't know if they charge you extra for using a boat launch if you're a state resident, if you have an Empire passport. But that's our last stop here. Boy, man, is it cold. My fingers are freezing. My face is freezing. This is Tom from Tom Parsley Channel. I want to thank you for coming along on the journey. Don't forget those 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. Thought somebody was walking over there. I'm on all the socials: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. We'll chop this video up for shorts. Try to drop a new video every week. And come along and see what we get into next week. All right.